Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 19th. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing about parenting details, big and small. And this week, I am confessing to a dumb mistake I made because as a parent, I'm doing way too much. You know what? I'm handling everybody's business, and sometimes something gets mixed up. It can happen. It's humiliating and mortifying, but let me tell you my tale of woe. It was time to pay our property tax, which is a ridiculously large amount. That's a whole other rant. And it's due like on the 1st of August, but you have until the 10th to pay it. But I was really good. I went on August 2nd. I went to the website of the city. I went onto their incredibly antiquated pay online thing because that's what I do now. I don't go line up with all the senior citizens at City Hall. I pay it online. And you have to put in your checking account number. And I grabbed the little box of checks I have next to my desk, grabbed a check, typed in the number, checked it. Everything's great, paid it, got the acknowledgement that I paid, wonderful. And I kept checking my checking account because I wanted to, see where the money went out so I'd know how much I had left. And I'm looking, and like 10 days go by, 12 days go by, money's still there. So I'm thinking, well, the system is pretty bad that they have for paying online. They're probably just slow, but you know what? I'm going to call the tax collector just in case. Well, they passed me embarrassingly through a few people, they look me up and they go, oh, let me pass you on to somebody else. So finally I get passed to somebody else and they say, oh, just a minute. And so finally the person tells me, well, the money was returned for insufficient funds from your bank. So you owe us $35 for the fee for that, plus you still owe us the taxes and a late fee. And so I start going off, what? I paid it early. I paid it on time. I'm not going to pay you a late fee. And I looked at my bank account. There was nothing in there. There was no insufficient funds. I had plenty of money and my bank hasn't said anything. I'm going on and on. This lady's going, it's really not my problem. But, I'm like, I know it's not your problem, but who do I complain to about this? And she says, well, you can call the tax collector and all that. So I said, okay, well, I was going to call my bank. So there's a representative at the bank that I talk to from time to time. So I called him up and I said, can you see anything? They're saying it was returned for insufficient funds. And he looks up my thing and he says, oh, I see you have enough money. No, I don't see anything. There was no check that went through. He said, is this account such and such? So I grabbed the little box next to my desk to look at the number and make sure. And that's the point at which I noticed that in the box with our checks is one of my son's checks, which I had in there because I was setting up his direct deposit because that's the kind of thing I do. And the terrible thought enters my head. Did I enter his checking account number to pay our property tax? Because he doesn't have the money in there for that. And so I'm kind of like stopping mid-rant to say, maybe I put the wrong number in. And he's like, I bet you put the wrong number in because I see no proof of anything like that. And I said, well, let me check that. And then but I'll be back because I'm sure I didn't do that. I'll be back. We got to get some proof. So I go online to my son's checking account, which I know the passwords to because I manage all that stuff. And sure enough, there's the property tax charge, there's the bounced check, there's a $35 fee on that end too. And oh my goodness, I have just ranted at a whole bunch of people when it was my ridiculous mistake. So I had to put my tail between my legs and go over to the tax collector and find the lady who I had yelled at and say, well, I did a really stupid thing. I put in my son's checking account number. Here's the check and the fees, and I'm sorry I yelled at you. But because I don't want to think that I'm just so loony that I can't tell the difference between his check and our checks, I think it's because I'm doing too much, Yeah. I think it's because I'm mishandling everybody's stuff. I think it's because, my desk has little bits of everybody's business on it. I am, making a phone call for this one. I am setting up a payment for that one. I am setting up my payments, my husband's payments. I'm making phone calls for this. Do you guys feel that way sometimes? Do you feel like you have so many balls in the air belonging to so many different people that you cannot possibly be blamed if you drop one?
Yes.
That seems fair, right?
Totally.
Absolutely.
If people would, if my son would set up his own direct deposit, his check wouldn't have been on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But he can't. And
Yes.
I want to be in charge of all his finances, so okay. And it's true that some of these things are my responsibility because I take it.
Yeah.
But even so,
But if you didn't, who
sympathy.
would? That's the thing.
that's true. That is very true.
That's where it all
right.
kind of hits the fan, because
Yes.
someone's got to do it. So
Yeah. It's just when something goes bad, it goes bad in such a stupid and annoying and expensive way
right.
that there should be a grace option for this.
Right.
If you go there and you tell your sad story, and people feel sorry for you because perhaps they are mothers too, they should be able to wipe away all the expenses,
at
shouldn't
least
they?
the late fee, like.
Yes, I was so proud of myself that I paid it early because we just happened to have gotten a bunch of paychecks in that week, and I thought I could pay this bill. Look at me.
Yeah.
So stupid, so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Have you guys ever done anything stupid like that? Mixed up an account number or
Oh, I'm sure I have.
paid the wrong thing with the wrong account?
Right. I called the bank just a couple months ago. I was looking at our bank statement, and there was this big bill, and this big, withdrawal that had happened, and I didn't recognize any of the information, who it was going to. I'm like, what is this? Mm-hmm. I call the bank and I think this is a fraudulent charge, and I don't know what this is for, and I want to, reverse this charge, and this is fraud, and this patient person,
right?
Well, did you check this? Did you check that? And finally, I was like, oh. Yeah, I paid that. I totally paid that. It was not a fraud. I'm like, okay, thanks, bye. Thanks for your help.
Oh, surely we're not the only ones that call them doing that, right?
Yeah, I have to think.
Yeah, I'd like to think.
And just the other day, my son needed something printed for part of his script for his play that he's in, and of course everybody was running late, and I had been telling him for days, like, we need to organize this, we need to get this sorted out. Finally we went through it and figured out which pages had to be printed, because it was like a 200-page document, but he didn't need it all. And so we figured it out, we started to print it, and he came downstairs to get ready to leave. I'm like, well, where's your script? And then he has to go back upstairs by the printer. You printed the whole thing. Why? Believe me, I did not print the whole thing on purpose. If that happened, because it had completely shut down my computer. Like, every window was frozen. It was a whole thing.
No.
I did not do this on purpose. Trust me. I told it to only print certain pages, and I was getting yelled at by him. I was getting, which really I can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
And plus the computer was completely not functioning, and good times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's lots of moments in my day where I have failed to live up to my daughter's expectations.
Oh dear.
Or I've done something dreadfully wrong, and whether it's moved her keys or looked at her text message while she was texting.
Yeah.
Inadvertently, of course.
How dare you?
I know. There's a million different things.
Pretty recently there was an Annie Get Your Gum cartoon, like how to make your teen just, I can't remember what it was, hate you, or, how to drive them crazy. And it was like, breathe,
Yes. Yes. I related to that one big time.
Yeah.
Talk to strangers when you just said, like, oh, what a cute dog. Like, oh my God, how could you do that?
Hum a Tune, I think, was one of them, which is guaranteed to drive my son into fits of, somebody might hear you. That's the point. I sing beautifully. I want people to hear
Yes.
But now I owe him $35 for the fee that was taken out of his account.
Right.
So I guess I should be nice for a while.
Ugh,
No
that's
singing.
so frustrating.
Just, I'm chagrined.
Yeah.
Hate when that happens. Especially when you've got a good rant going, and then you have to
Right.
you have
And
to
then
back
you have to
down
really dial it back.
and say, "Oh, never mind. Here, take your money."
That is very
So.
unsatisfying.
It's the worst, know. 'Cause I had to go from righteous indignation to
Yes.
self-loathing on a dime.
Not
A little
fair.
lightheaded afterwards.
Not fair at all.
Not fair.
Well, I'm sure this will happen to all of us again, and we may
Yes.
return to share it here so that we can
Yes. Our
get
tales
that
of
off our
woe.
chests.
Yes,
But-
yes.
But that will be it for today's Round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundabout roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.